room. Guys, I don't know if you've met Bea. Lenny, I know that you've been around the Genius U Entrepreneurs Institute community. The trouble is, Lenny, I know, but I can see that she hasn't connected to her audio yet. So I can see that she can't even really hear me talking. But I was just going to say that, Lenny's been around for a while. Smitha and Shivani haven't, I don't think we've met yet. So I'm community manager here at Genius U, which means I kind of look after everybody, as it were, at your service. And Bea is one of our longest standing, highest status partners, and she's been working with Roger. What did you say? What you mentioned it before? It's such a long time ago.
Since 2007. Since 2007.
2007, started working with Roger. So if you know anything about what we do here, I mean, it's kind of that level of time really, like I said, makes you, for want of a better way of putting it, an extremely close, high status member of Roger's circle. And as partners kind of progress and become more and more aligned with Roger and Genius U and Entrepreneurs Institute, they move ultimately into this space of co-creation. And over the last year or two, Bea and her husband and business partner, Jan, along with Roger, have developed Wealth Dynamics for Evolutionary Women, and also founded a global institute for evolutionary women. So that really sort of gives you a bit of a feel for the length and depth and breadth of Bea's journey with Roger Hamilton. I'm sort of saying it like that because it's not to be taken lightly. I think that there are lots and lots of members of our community who have been around for a very long time and progressed in a lot of work with Roger, but we only have a very small handful still at this stage who have actually co-created their own content directly with Roger. So that's quite a thing, I would say. Now, Lenny seems to be having trouble connecting with audio, so hopefully she'll be able to hear you, Bea, when I bring you in. Shivani and Smitha, I think they're all ready to go. Guys, I don't necessarily, we haven't met, so Shivani's back in the waiting room, so I can't really sort of introduce you. And although I know Lenny, I don't think she can hear me quite yet. So I think, Bea, we might well get off to a gentle start. And you said to me before we brought the guests in, it's a rerun, as it were, or a second edition within a week, we're probably going to have a more intimate audience. So I'm around, guys. But we are an intimate audience, so if you feel at any stage, raise your hand, unmute yourself if you've got something to add, or you'd like to sort of let us know something or ask a question, and I'll let Bea take it away, I think.
Okay, well, welcome.
We are streaming on YouTube, but we're not public. We're doing that so that we can send you the recording afterwards. Over to you, Bea.
Okay, great. Well, welcome Shivani, and welcome Shmita and Lenny. I think Lenny is still connecting, right, to audio. So I'm not sure if Lenny can see us, and you can see this is a small, intimate group. So if you can unmute yourself, and also, switch on your camera so we can see each other, that would be really wonderful. And we're also going to create a space for you to introduce yourself and just share how long you'll be part of the jam, what makes you excited. So, and I really want to make sure you get what you really would love to get out of this webinar for yourself and for your evolutionary journey. Duncan, if you can just let me share my slides, you could make me a co-host. That would be one. Okay. Here we are. Okay, great. So welcome to our webinar, the World Dynamic, Tapping into the Power of World Dynamics for Evolutionary Women. So we have 60 minutes together. I'm really committed that you had a great value out of this, and then you will actually get what you're looking for on your evolutionary journey. My name is Bea Benkova. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Global Institute for Evolutionary Women. Who we are is the evolutionary home for women making impact in the world. So we provide a space for connection, for collaboration and synergy and education for women all around the world who've really committed to be evolutionary, to make a difference in the world and fulfill their purpose. And given that you showed up at this webinar, I'm going to make an assumption there is something that resonates with you from this as well. So this webinar is designed to support you to tap into the power of Well Dynamics for Evolutionary Women. You're all part of the Genius U community. I assume you already done your Well Dynamics profile. So if you already know your Well Dynamics profile, please just write it in the chat. Or if you've done your Genius test as well. We do have a superpower test. If you haven't done it, Duncan, if you were so kind, and just drop it in the chat. And this hour for us is designed to unlock your superpower and discover your authentic path to purpose, prosperity, and positive impact as a woman entrepreneur. And it's really a webinar designed for entrepreneurial women like you to help you unlock your natural superpowers. Our natural superpower is something we were born with as souls, and that we're really here to give and serve the world with. So you can be fully yourself and have a fulfilling life, integrated and aligned, and thrive in business as a woman. So this is the premise. This is the place we're coming from. If this promise resonates with you, just write in the chat, like, yeah, this is really fun. And I am your guide for this hour today. And I have the amazing Duncan with me, who is hosting and holding the space. So you have, I think, a great team and a combo to really get maximum value from this 1 hour you investing on your time, because I really appreciate the energy you invest and the time you bring into this. So this is the context for us modern women entrepreneurs. We all were born in this time of humanity. So there is definitely a reason why we are born in this time that's said to be one of the most critical times for the human family, for humanity, when we're really going to have to really prove and really move our energy to make sure we sustain ourselves on the planet. And as I know, and you probably, that's why you hear this webinar, women entrepreneurs like us and all around the world, women are showing up, stepping up, and leading the way much more than it used to be 40, 50, 60 years ago. But at the same time, as we are doing it, what we're experiencing, that we're relying on unsustainable effort, right? We repeat our cycles of struggle. There is a lot of pressure on us to perform and make a difference. And there is a lot of pressure for us to compromise and make trade-offs. And a lot of times we face invisible carriers in the men's world. So if this is something that you're experiencing yourself in your life, just write in the chat. I'm just going to look if there is anything here. Okay, Roxana. Wow, isn't that? Hello, welcome. Okay, we have, Duncan is a star and Roxana is here with us. So if this resonates with you, what I just shared with you, just write in the chat. And inside is struggle, and then what we created is our promise. And this is really the question we're asking all around the world. How can I be feminine and powerful, vital and wealthy, and live my life in my natural flow, fulfilling my purpose to leave my legacy, whilst having love, harmony, and respect with men? And the end of the promise is really important, because this is not us about being better. This is really for our evolutionary journey to be free, to be who we truly are, so we can really make the difference we came here to make. So this webinar going to have three elements. First, we're going to look at our power of being a woman and our untapped power of being an evolutionary woman. Then we're going to look at our profile as the best channel for expressing our superpowers. But at the same time, Well Dynamics profile is also the authentic pathway for us to heal, thrive, and evolve. So if this promise and these three parts resonate with you, just write in the chat. And we can just move into the first one, the untapped power of being an evolutionary woman. I have this t-shirt. I don't have it here with me, but I bought it in Stradivari. And it says, I am a woman. What is your superpower? And I really love that, because it just acknowledges the fact, just because we are women, we already have amazing superpower. There's nothing else, no one else we have to be. What we need to be is fully ourselves. So I'm a woman. What is your superpower? And at the same time, here we're also tapping into the power of being an evolutionary woman. As my friend and mentor Richard Barrett says, the future of humanity depends on the evolutionary woman. Now, he didn't just say woman, he said evolutionary woman. So the question is, who is an evolutionary woman? And this is the promise and potential of being an evolutionary woman. And as we talk about evolutionary woman, Duncan, you know, there is evolutionary man, right? So there is another power of being evolutionary man, but that's not what we're discussing here, okay? Is the power of being an evolutionary woman. To be an evolutionary woman is to understand that the future is not written, that we are free from the past, and that we forge our destiny and influence history with our individual and collective choices. So if you are being and living as an evolutionary woman, you really get to the core of your being that our future is not written. And then you live your life as a free from the past, creating your own destiny that you understand influences history with your individual, but also our collective choices. And being an evolutionary woman is an authentic life commitment. It's not something you do for a month or 2 months. It's not, oh, this is a great business strategy. Now I'm going to be an evolutionary woman and I will, you know, grow my business. You know, that's is going to be an outcome of that, but that's not the point. So the evolutionary woman is an authentic life commitment. It's a woman committed to live, develop, and thrive on all levels of human consciousness. Being evolutionary women, we are being and living in when we're embracing all of our potential and power that we have in pursuing a worthy cause and at the same time living a fulfilling life. So if this resonates with you, just write in the chat what you're hearing for yourself. I would love to hear what is relevant for your journey right now, because I'm really committed that you get the difference and you get the value you came here to get. Okay, definitely resonates. Marvel Dynamics supporter Smita, hello. And Roxana is supporter Blaze. Okay, so that's really what we have here. And as we are creating this promise, I would love to know, what had you come to this webinar? What had you say yes? What did you come to get? What would you like to get our conversation today? And what would you like to get for yourself out of the promise that we have for this webinar? We can just write here in the chat. That'll be really great. So I can just really tune into whoever is here. I'm going to give it a minute so you can write. Smita, we have Smita, Shivani, Lenny, Simon. Hello, Simon. Welcome. And if you're a man, this is relevant for you as well, but probably you are coming to this webinar because you want to support women in your life, whether you're business partners or business wife, you know, your wives. I was just sitting yesterday with a CEO of a big bank in one of the European countries who is going through his evolutionary transition. And when I share with him about our work in GIFEW, he said, oh my God, this is like perfect for my wife. I just want her so much to be happy and fulfilled. And she's in transition as well. And I just love when men say that, right? I like, this is exactly what I want for my wife. I really want to support her being free and being evolutionary and being herself. So write in the chat, what had you come? And while you're writing in, we can just move to the next conversation. So the next conversation for us is to really look, what does it mean to be an evolutionary woman? And let me just set this aside. Okay. Let me just hang on a second. I just need to set it here like that. Okay, now I understand. Okay, so here we go. So being an evolutionary woman is what we've covered. And yes, so who is an evolutionary woman? She is free, all of you, right? You being an evolutionary woman, when you're free, well, and empowered to integrate all your needs and desires, whether they are physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. So if you understand that the model, this is a model we use in GIFEW, which I find very eloquent. It's called 7 Levels of Consciousness by Richard Barrett, and really talks about the full spectrum of us as human beings, whether it's on individual, on a team, organization, or a country level as well. Like me and my team, we measure the consciousness of Slovakia regularly, so we know where the country is, what are its needs and desires, and how to really bring people together to evolve the nation as well. But we are here being an evolutionary woman. So this is about our full spectrum human consciousness, about developing, right, and mastering our needs and desires. So first, understanding the world dynamics for evolutionary women gives you access to really know what is the best path for you to fulfill your needs. Because, the first 3 levels are the levels of the ego, where we do have physical and emotional needs to survive, to be loved, to be admired. So it's really about creating environments and conditions in your life to have a healthy ego. And then it's about being free to be you and growing, and being free to express your soul desires, which is about being free to express who you truly are, connect to other souls, and make a difference in the world. So it's really about connecting your physical and emotional selves with your spiritual selves, and live your life as a full spectrum evolutionary woman. So it's well-being expressed at all levels, and satisfied and amplified and expressed in life and through business. Because we are all women entrepreneurs, and we really want to just create our life when we are freely who we are. We make the impact we came here to make, but we're really using our world dynamics profile as the best pathway to channel our energy and to grow and to make a difference, and also have the enterprises and the businesses that we grow as our true authentic impact vehicles. So this is about unlocking your inner power as an evolutionary woman, power to be yourself, authentic being, power to give your best, your authentic expression, and power to contribute what really matters about your authentic impact. And now it's really, in my experience, it's just so important to understand that the evolutionary and entrepreneur journeys are the same sides of the coin. I mean, how many of you already run your businesses? We are all entrepreneurs, right? And how many of you are experiencing we're making trade-offs? And it's not every time that we feel our business organization is a true expression of our purpose, and then we're really making the impact we came here to make. So I was so excited about creating the world dynamics for evolutionary women is to bring our experience of 15 years working with women all around the world, whether they're executives or entrepreneurs or business owners or running for presidents. We all need to be entrepreneurial because we're creating something from nothing, right? And the path and our world dynamics profiles give us a path to create value and create leverage and make an impact. So both evolutionary and entrepreneur journeys are 2 sides of the same coin, and both are vital to have an authentic, prospering, and impactful business. At the same time, be empowered, have empowered, meaningful, and thriving life. Because if you're just focusing on evolutionary, not on the entrepreneurial, it's not going to work. If you only focus on the entrepreneurial and you don't understand your evolution journey, there's going to be a lot of trade-offs. You're not going to fulfill really full potential, and you will not feel so much in flow. And a lot of times we don't understand why we're not feeling in flow, why we're not feeling fulfilled, and why we're making all these trade-offs. And then we get entrapped in this illusion that this is all there is and it cannot be any other way. Actually, that's one of the biggest lies. Understanding our entrepreneurial and evolution journey, our heroine journey, is the access to have. So both are essential for transforming the frequent experience of confusion, overwhelm, stress, and struggle in finding and starting and sustaining your flow. So who you are authentically and why you're here as a soul can be your greatest source of sustained inspiration, success, and fulfillment in your business. And your career and your business can be the greatest avenue and vehicle to fulfill experience, to fully experience and express yourself in your soul purpose in the world. So this is really the context to really come from. And I would love to hear some feedback from you for the women who are here at this webinar. Does this resonate with you? Can you see yourself, like your commitment as an evolutionary woman? Are you on the journey of being an evolutionary woman? Just write me in the chat. Roxana says, yes, just write me a chat, what it resonates, how is it relating to you? Where do you feel also the challenges and the struggles as well? So this was the part 1 that we've covered. And now we're going to part 2, understanding your profile. And we have supporters here and different ones, or if you haven't done your superpower test, you can do it. Understanding that your world dynamics profile is the best channel for you expressing your superpower. So these are the 4 energies. This is what we call Evolutionary Women superpowers. So those of you who are creators here, you know that your superpower, you have a superpower as a woman, is about playing to your strength, avoiding stress. And if you're a dynamo, you know you're great at starting things, but not at finishing things. That's not your superpower. Your superpower is to start things, to be visionary, to see what's possible, to see what others don't see, to bring hope. If you are Blaze superpower that we have here, support us, right, Duncan, then you really are people smart. So you're not idea smart, but you are people smart. Is to own your superpower. You love people. We are easily distracted. We need variety. We get excited. We need drama and color in life. Try to put us in that one room to do one thing, and then our energy will just die out. If you are tempo, you are sensi smart, right? So your superpower is being grounded, but at the same time, the weakness, the tempo gets lost in activity, right? And if you are still smart or detail smart, then your superpower is to really control, to have attention to details. And at the same time, it becomes a weakness because still can become overcautious, okay? So this is really to understand your superpowers. So you really know where you bring most value, so you can really follow the trail and understand who you want also to collaborate with you to make more difference in the world. And this is the superpower, right? Expressed through your world dynamics profile. And it's much more granulated than just the energies, because the energies then create the combinations and then you get the profile. So for us as women, there are 8 channels for superpower: to create value, to create flow, create prosperity, and to create an impact, to have an impact. And we notice this is our world dynamics square for Evolutionary Women. So all the women here are examples, are Evolutionary Women with their profiles. I have to say it did take us quite a long time to really find the right women, because this was not only about finding successful women in entrepreneurship and in business. This was really to finding, and examples of women who are evolutionary women, right? Who lived their life making an impact, being on their evolution journey. So that's, you can really see Barbara, Max Hubbard, Jacinda Cinder. So they, Jacinda. 8 world dynamics profiles, which are 8 ways to 8 value. So the creators, if you have any creators, just right here, the creators add value, as you know from the world dynamics, create and innovate better product, right? They create from nothing. Stars, they create an attractive brand. They really create value and leverage and make an impact through the power of who they truly are and inspiring others to be like them. Mechanic, they create a better system and processes. That's how they channel their superpowers. Supporters, lead and support businesses with attention. They create high-performing, empowering team, create a lot of loyalty and motivate through enthusiasm and connections. The opposite Lord controls and optimizes the use of assets and productive resources. That's how women who are evolutionary women, Lord profiles, also in my circle, I can really see them. That's how they make impact in the easiest way. Accumulators who are evolutionary women, they accumulate and manage valuable resources. That's their superpower. Trader serves or trades at the right time, at the right place. So they end up at the right place at the right time to serve or trade. And deal maker, connect the right people and opportunities at the right time. So these are the 8 ways that we really can use our world dynamics profile as evolutionary women to add value, to create synergy, to collaborate, and to make a difference in the world. Okay, great. So far so good. This is the world dynamics element of your evolution women journey that you must most, really connect it to and understand. So in the world dynamics for evolutionary women report that you can get, you will see many more examples of the women who are evolutionary women on the world dynamics profile. So, and you can see the way, and you can understand and read about the evolution journey, how they create value and leverage, how they made a difference, how they express their purpose as well through, from the legendary futurist and evolutionary like Barbara Max Hubbard, through Oprah, who is a star profile, to a trader, Malala, right? Or accumulator Queen Elizabeth II, I think in my experience, it makes such a difference to study these women if you are their profile, to really see how they healed, how they evolved, how they went on the evolution to thrive and to make a difference in the world. So that's your World Dynamics profile, number 2, as the best way for you to express your superpowers. And the third one is about your profile, the World Dynamics profile, being your authentic pathway to heal, to evolve, and thrive. And this is the element that is now, right now, so complementary to your evolution, to your entrepreneurial journey. Because if this is not in place, this is what stops us being who we truly are, right? And really thrive in the world. So your World Dynamics profile, whether you are a star or supporter or creator or any of the 8, is the best authentic pathway to heal, to evolve, and thrive. And if you really look at the 7 levels consciousness, is really to shift from the vibration of fear to love. Because the high source of power, why we are here, we are all love. And when we live in our soul consciousness, we have a lot of energy, we bring light into the world, and we come from abundance, right? And we really become stars. When we come together, we create constellations. So the first, your World Dynamics profile, when you read the report as well, is the best pathway to heal, evolve, and thrive. So on the first 3 levels, if you remember, the healthy ego is really about you using your understanding, your World Dynamics profile to build a healthy foundations for your well-being and stability in 4 fundamental areas of your life: health, relationship, family, environment, and finances. And then it's about, transforming your core fears and limiting beliefs. And then it's about using your evolutionary key. So each World Dynamics profile has a different way about going and creating healthy foundations for your ego, about transcending your core fears and limiting beliefs, because we all have them, and also activating your evolutionary keys, which is the key that turns your superpower into an evolutionary force. So these are the 3 elements we're going to cover, and this is the introduction to this. So there are 4 areas for all of us to have healthy foundations, right? And write in the chat if this resonates with you, or which one is right now. I would love to know which one is right now the most challenging for you as well. So having healthy foundations for your health, for your finances, for your environment, and family and relationship. And if you understand World Dynamics, you also understand that different profiles needs different things and different environments to be healthy. So you will go a different way about health when you're a creator than when you're an accumulator or a trader, right? Or a supporter. Like, if you're extroverted, we love to go exercise together, come to the classes. We will approach our food different. Then if you are someone who is accumulator or lord, it's the same thing about the finances. To have the healthy foundation and manage your financial flow as an evolution woman, you will have a different strategy. You will need to create your healthy foundation in a different way that will really support your energy. But also you can use your superpower and what is nature for you to have healthy foundations in finance. Or you will approach relationships very different, and family, whether you are a deal maker or mechanic. Okay, so it's just to really understand that your World Dynamics profile gives you access and understanding how to really build the 4 areas of your healthy ego and healthy foundation. And then, because the creators, right, if you are a dynamo, you want significance and freedom. You love thrill and inspiration and change, and you learn through visual pictures. If you are Blaze, for all our healthy foundations, we need variety, and we want people, and we want experiences. Okay, we love fun and friendship and laughter, but we also learn through talking and stories, right? We're not going to be someone who will go and read a manual about how to exercise better and how to eat better. We will want to talk to someone, right? And have fun whilst doing it. If you are a steel, you live with certainty and control. That's what you need. And you love comfortable and predictable. And you learn through studying and reading. So you will approach the healthy foundations in a different way to really use your superpowers. And if you're a tempo, you love reliability and connection. I have my sister who is the trader profile, and she just loves regularity, right? And discipline and connections. And I'm someone who has a lot of dynamo. It just drives me crazy. But when we work together and we build our foundations together, I understand what she needs and she understands what I need. And then for loves, care, compassion, and welcoming environment. Okay, so using your superpower to build your healthy foundations for your ego, for you to really heal and rise and thrive is really important. Now, in the second section, your world dynamics profile gives you, your superpower gives you access to understand the core fears that are driven by our needs and sensibilities. Okay, this is not to say they are the truth and they're the only one, but highly likely, if you understand your world dynamics profile, this kind of fear will be kind of blocking you, and this is something is important for us to heal, to transcend. So if you are creators, if you have any creators here, is the fear of being weak and powerless. Okay, that's the fundamental fear to transcend and to heal for creators. If you're a star, it's about a fear being overlooked, rejecting, and ridiculed. If you're a supporter, it's a fear of being excluded and not being liked. So we do have some supporters here on the chat. So if that relates to you, just say yes. If you have any deal makers, the fear of being unwanted, unloved, and unwelcome. Okay. And when we have traders, for them, the fundamental fear is the fear of being unnecessary and useless. For accumulators, is a fear of being ignorant and irrelevant. And for the Lord is a fear of failure, of being wrong. And last but not least, for the mechanics is a fear of being flawed or inadequate. Okay, so these are kind of more fundamental fears that are connected to your world dynamics profile and to your superpower. So if you understand it as evolution woman, it's much easier. You can be much more focused. And actually, instead of it having power with you, you have power over it, right? To understand what is the fear so you can heal it and then complete it to rise. I'm just going now look in the chat just to check if this resonates with you and what do you hear for yourself. This is what I would love to know. What are you hearing for yourself? Is this relevant? Not relevant? Can you see the fears being related to you depending on your world dynamics profile? Lenny, Roxana, Smida, how does this land? Is this valuable? Okay, so let's move to the third part of you expressing your evolutionary power and superpowers. And the third one is about using your evolutionary keys. Okay, and this is very distinct for your evolutionary journey as a woman, using your evolutionary keys. So there are 8 keys for your evolutionary path and superpower. And each world dynamics profile has one fundamental primary key and secondary skill. So this is the key that if you have the healthy foundations of your ego and you transcend your fears and limited beliefs, you are much free then to evolve and thrive and make the impact you came here to make. If I relate this to the sailing ship, a sailing boat, you lifted your anchors, you are on the ocean, and then you can just have the wind in your sails to go where you're meant to go. So there are 8 evolutionary keys for your path. When your creator is a hope, for star is a courage, for supporter is an enthusiasm. This is what the support would bring. They bring excitement and enthusiasm to lead the team. For the star is the courage to be who they truly are. For deal makers, their evolutionary key is love. This is the key that really fuels your evolution to have an impact. For traders is, compassion. So these evolutionary keys, if you apply them, if you apply your superpowers to them, it really fuels your evolution and impact. And here is the list of all, and you have them in your evolutionary report, right? The real distinction, like what it really means. So for example, I think we have here some supporters, Duncan, don't we? And stars as well. So I'm going to just connect it to them, right? For stars, it's about the courage to speak and act authentically despite the risk and fear. Being free who they truly are and being courageous to be the voice they came here to be. For the supporters, is about the enthusiasm. It's about the genuine compassion and encouragement that motivates and connects people. A lot of times it's just so easy that we don't really own it. We're like, oh, it must be something else. But this is your evolutionary key. At the same time, when you have your primary evolutionary key, the secondaries are your secondary evolutionary key. So if you're a supporter, your secondary evolutionary key that fuels your evolution and impact is courage and also love. So it's having your primary evolutionary key, enthusiasm, and then using courage and love as your secondary keys. If you have any traders here, it's compassion, and then your secondaries are love, right, and gratitude. So this is the third part of you understanding your evolution journey. So you know what are the like authentic keys that really fuel your evolution. So I'm going to pause here. Okay, we have 20 minutes till the end, and I just wanted to get a reading to whoever is here so we can have it more interactive. Okay, Lenny, very much as a Blaze personality, love is definitely my key in everything I do. Yes, so the evolutionary key, they are virtues, right? They are important for everyone. All of them are really important. When you have your world dynamics profile, your primary evolutionary key is the one that fuels your evolution most. And the secondaries are the one that support you. So I have all 8 as important, but for me, as a star, for example, I know that my primary evolutionary key that fuels my evolution and my evolutionary power is courage, and then secondary is hope, and then is enthusiasm. So, Lenny, what's your world dynamics profile? Duncan, do we know Lenny's world dynamics profile? I'm just curious because she writes in the chat.
Bayer, I don't believe Lenny's dropped it in there. Can you drop it in there? I'm quite surprised. I mean, I know that you have a lot of respect for my work, but if you think that I know the profiles of all 2,500 mentors on the platform, I'm afraid to let you down.
Superman.
Although maybe because she's a deal maker, and it's really quite a rare. So sorry, Bayer. Sorry, Lenny.
That's okay.
I'll remember that.
No, I'm not saying you need to, right? I'm just like.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I know.
I know someone when someone is about the community for a while. So this was by no means saying you should, right? I'm just saying if you happen.
I'm not that good.
If it just happened. Okay, so Lenny, you shared your deal maker and this resonate with you. Yeah, so for the deal makers, the primary evolutionary key is love, right? And then your secondary, let me just share this screen better. And then your secondaries, Lenny, your secondary keys, evolutionary keys are, oh, can you see it? Can you still see it, Duncan? Or not? Can you see the screen? Yeah. Okay, great. And so your primary is love, and your secondary are enthusiasm and compassion. So love is about being present, like you said, is connected to everything you do. It's about being present, connecting, engaging, and seeking the best of all involved. So this is not this infatuated love. It's like really powerful presence of love. And then your secondaries are enthusiasm for a supporter and compassion for the trader, right? A deep awareness of and sympathy for anyone's and others' experience and circumstance and willingness to help. So it's just, in my experience, so important to understand your superpowers and you understand your evolutionary key to really, fuel your growth, your evolution, to have an impact, to thrive. So it was 2007 when I left the investment banking. It was just at the time when I met Roger, when he came to the UK. And like many of us, I was asking myself the question, who am I? Why am I here? And where am I going? Why did I come on this planet? I achieved my success. Has anyone experienced it? I achieved my success. I should be excited. I was excited until this time. But right now, like the excitement wore off. And I was thinking, is this all there is? Is this all there is that I'm selling my heart and soul and body for just to have the success and climb up the success ladder? There must be something more. And I'm more and more desire to answer the questions. Who am I? Why am I here on the planet? And what did I come here to do? And it was through my evolution journey I really got that I came here to contribute to society, to be sustainable, to be inclusive, to be empathic. And I chose to work with Evolutionary Women as tapping into the superpowers of all of us around the world to fuel our evolution, to bring forth a new society for humanity, and to really co-create a world where everyone is taken care of, listened, loved, society that's sustainable, that's inclusive and empathic. And on my journey, I started working with women all over the world to really support them, to be really fully self-expressed, to be vital, feminine and powerful and vital and healthy, and live our life in our natural flow, to really fulfill our purpose. And on the journey that led me to create a global institute for evolutionary women, to tap into my superpowers, to be the voice, to have the courage to say who I truly am, and connect women all over the world to really rise, to connect, to heal, to thrive, and come together to co-create a constellation, what we say in GIFEW, constellation for evolutionary women. So this is the field that we're creating in GIFEW. We call it the GIFEW constellation of evolutionary women. Is women from all over the world who really are committed to be evolutionary women, to be on their evolutionary path, to really thrive, to heal, to make a difference together. Because as you know, the society that we're moving into, the society of us and being together. So it's really about all of us to expressing who we truly are, at the same time understanding how we complement each other. In World Dynamics, you can see it so beautifully, right? What are the other profiles we want to connect, collaborate, and co-create as evolutionary women to make a difference together? So this is who I am, this is what I stand for, and that's why I'm so excited to have all of you here to really support you on the evolutionary journey together. And that was really what led us to co-create World Dynamics for evolutionary women together with Roger and Roger's community, because it's such an important part. It's actually all connected. If you see women all over the world who are making difference, we are all entrepreneurial. We all are using our superpowers to create value, to create leverage, to tap into our natural flow. But understanding your superpowers to evolve and thrive will really support you to live a life where you don't make compromise, when you can be fully yourself, right? And free, and really use your evolutionary keys to fuel your evolution and impact. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And Lenny, I can see you writing here. Amazing. When you add trader to the mix and realize the feeling of empathy and sympathy is the key. I use my passion for willingness to impact others. I love what you do, Bear. I share the same for youth in South Africa. Yes. I think what you discovered, as Lenny says as well, the evolutionary case is we already feel it naturally because we were born with it. The difference is to start using it consciously with focus and certainty for impact, because then you really are asking yourself, what do I need to do? What do I need to let go? What do I want to transform to really fuel my evolution, to use my evolutionary keys? Because the moment you start using them more, you will start feeling also the fears and the limited belief as well. We didn't have time at this masterclass, webinar, to go through different limited beliefs that are connected to your World Dynamics profile. We do it in our next steps, which I'll share with you later as well. But this is just really like a view and brief for you to understand how to move forward and what are the pathways you can use to support yourself on your evolution journey. So for us in GIFEW, and also the path we're creating for women in Genius U community, is to have the next path where you can really connect with other women and also move from information to transformation. This webinar is really to give you a high-level view. And then the next step we have on your evolution journey to come and really experience, right? And have the fully transformation experience for you using your World Dynamics profile and your evolutionary keys to make a difference in the world. So we are running a workshop this Saturday. My husband and I, who we co-created the World Dynamics for Evolutionary Women, we would love you to come and join us. So you don't have to be on this journey together. The beautiful things, what I love, when you tap into your evolutionary power, that you get, we are all connected and we are all one. Okay, so this is for you to support you to take your next action, your next evolutionary step to unlock your superpowers. And as we know, if we go, we want to go fast, we go alone. If we go too far, we go together. So from you listening to this webinar, what is the one thing? I have a question for you. What is the one thing that opened up for you that you're going to do on your evolution journey, inside your business, inside your team, whatever projects you are on? What is it that opened up for you most? That was valuable? What were the insight? And what is the action you're going to take out of this conversation that is really valuable for you? You can just write it in the chat. Okay, wonderful, Lenny. You've confirmed I'm on the right track. Isn't that great feelings? Like, oh my God, I felt this compassion, and this is why I have empathy. I'm very empathic. Yes, compassion is your secondary evolutionary key. It's about for you to directing it, right? To fuel your evolutionary power, to reclaim your evolution power, and then to use it for expressing who you truly are. So those of you who this resonates with, we have an invitation with Duncan for you to join us this Saturday. I know it's a short notice, but sometimes the best things come the last minute, or you ended up at this webinar because you were supposed to be here. This is the workshop we're doing on this Saturday. It's for the Genius You community as well. This is the next step. If this resonates with you and is very valuable, this is my invitation for you to take next step. Because one thing is to take what's opening up to the information, which I share with you plenty, right? To really start integrating it and aligning it in your life and to go through the transformation. So the workshop we're running this Saturday is a 3-hour transformation experience. It is live. We're going to be on the Zoom meeting. We're going to have breakout rooms. You will get your supplementary report as well for your Well Dynamics profile. So you will have a much more guidance in depth, and then we will go through these different steps together in much more depth inside what you're up for this year. Because this year is the year, if you know, the water rabbit. And the water is the energy, is the question for us for this year as women to ask ourselves, what is it I came here to do? That I really want to do versus what others want me to do. So this is really about focusing and shifting from distractions to really doing what we came here to do, which is the element of water. Water is connected to purpose, sustainability, and leaving a mark on the planet. And rabbit is a community animal that brings joy and fun. So it doesn't have to be heavy, like in the Tiger Year. This is about us doing it together and understanding we can be free and independent, and we don't have to be alone. And I know when you connect to the power of other evolution women, you need less energy to move more. You need less energy to make more impact, right? And also connecting to the vibration of your soul consciousness gives you an environment to really evolve with less pain and struggle, in my experience. So who doesn't want more with less, and more impact with less struggle and more joy? So this is my invitation to you. I would love you to join us. And let me just share the website where we have a special, Duncan, you just dropped it, right? You just dropped this. That's perfect. You're such a great team. Here it is. This is the workshop, is a live interactive workshop on the 25th of March. We have 2 times. You can do either 9 a.m. UK, which is just about like when we started, 1 hour when we start, like it will be starting just about right now. And then 5 p.m. UK, also London time. So whether you're in Asia or all over the world, everyone can find one time that really works. If you're in Europe, you have an advantage. You can go to both, right? So it's a 3-hour interactive workshop where we will go through all the elements of your evolution journey. We will distinguish what it means to be an evolutionary woman 5.0, right? And how can you express more self-care to really also tap into the power of this year. If you want to use the energy and the power of this year of the water rabbit, this is a perfect place for you to be. We'll cover much more in details the Well Dynamics for Evolution Women. We will also look at the your limited beliefs that are connected with your profile, and we will cover also the antidotes you can use for your fears and also for your limited beliefs. And then we will also look much more in detail, not only using evolutionary key, but using the impact themes for your profile. So there is a different way to make an impact for a deal maker than there is for a supporter or a star. And for you to understand it and start integrating it and transforming you on yourself on the journey is really important. So we'll be diving much more, deeper and release what really holds you back to really free you up more for your evolution and impact, which is then going to, influence you how much you grow your enterprise and your business, but you'll be growing in being who you truly are and what you came here to do. So bringing both of these journeys together. We have a special offer for Genius U community. The normal price of the workshop is $197, and the offer for the Wall Dynamics Genius community is $27. So this is a designated landing page for you. If you resonate with it, you can just complete the form here. You can choose 2 dates, and then you can register, and I will see you there on Saturday. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And then in the end, it wouldn't be me if I didn't, bring myself to it as well. So if you resonate with this as a woman and you want to come to the Saturday and join us for this transformation experience, and my invitation for you is, if you register today, we're going to also add one-to-one with me. So we will also schedule a one-to-one debrief and strategy call next week after the workshop, so we can really debrief and look at who you are, what you're up for, what's important for you this year, and how you can really use, leverage your power as an evolution woman to do what's important for you this year. So this is as a thank you for those of you who are committed to your journey and who will take the action and join us. So Duncan, this is all for me, and over to you.
Wow, I didn't even know about that. That's a great opportunity and very generous of you, Bea. Guys, I obviously want to thank you for being here with us today, and just draw your attention. You may have noticed in the chat, I obviously gave you the link so that you can find out more about the workshop on Saturday. But also, I've dropped the link in there again for you to take your superpower test. It's completely free, very, very powerful and useful to you. And I've also given you some links. So, for example, there's a link so that you can join Bea's community on Genius U. I've also given you a link to Bea's profile. You can connect with her there. We mentors like reviews, so just putting it out there. We don't like to ask, but it's always a nice thing to do. And I personally always return reviews. So I don't know how Bea approaches that, but you can connect with her there. And then finally, I've given you the link to Bea's community on Facebook, the Global Institute for Evolutionary Women on Facebook there. So you can join up. I will be sending you an email shortly once it's processed with the recording of the call, and also these links again, if you weren't quick enough over the hour with your copy and paste finger. So I look forward to connecting with you via email. And of course, when I do, if you have any questions for Bea, follow-ups, any feedback or anything like that, I know that she'd be very, very interested in it. So please do feel free to reply. And indeed, we are a small. Oh, Lenny's dropped out. I'm just letting her back in. We are a small group here, Bea. So would you mind if I were to copy you into those few emails to this group, so that if people have feedback or questions, they can come to you directly?
Yeah, exactly. Copy me in if anyone has any questions. And we also have like 6 minutes left. So I pride my speak so quite good on time as a staff profile today. So we do have 6 minutes. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself. You can come on the camera. You can just use this time to really support you. So anything I share, anything that resonates, anything you're dealing with that are your challenges that you can apply, you can just ask either in the chat or come on the camera and ask me myself.
Yeah, Bea, I always find that after an hour session, unless you're a specific kind of person, I even find that you take all the information in, and then immediately I've always got a bit of feedback. I can always tell you how much I've enjoyed the call, but to really try and be constructive with questions, it's almost like it's too soon. And I always find that when I go away from the calls, maybe I'm having a cup of tea in an hour, or potentially even a beer at later in an hour. I think, oh wow, I wish I'd have thought of that. I wish I'd have had time to chat about that. So it will be really nice if we can sort of stay in touch, as it were.
Yeah,
if only via groups, so that people have got the opportunity to sort of connect with you, because I know that things always always come up in the aftermath, as it were. And there's so much content there,
I know.
and it's all just constantly ringing bells. And so I reckon unless you were sat there with a notepad, you're probably not going to have your questions ready. Maybe we ought to think about that, how we're going to do that. I know with the gem calls, we sometimes used to do a follow-up Q&A, you know, a little while after, or a day or two after. So let's see how the journey takes us in
Completely
terms of that.
fine, completely fine. So you can just drop maybe in the chat if you want what you take away, right? What resonated with you, and was wonderful. So I look forward to seeing you on our evolution journey together. And those of you who will join us on Saturday, I look forward to seeing you there and having a one-to-one with you afterwards.
Absolutely. Any feedback, guys? Last chance. I've got a little bit of feedback, and actually, obviously, I was on the last call as well, and my feedback is that I've already, because I've got privileged access, I already sent out the recording from the last one just to some female friends of mine, just to say, you really need to have a watch of this, because, you know, and I think that's some value. As you said, you know, men are also welcome, and although it may not be directly men, it's powerful stuff. And when we see this kind of thing, we want to pass it on, don't we? So yeah, I think having the doors open to men as well to me seems like a great idea, because I just want to sort of switch on the ladies who I do know to this kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful. So Lenny says I will register for Saturday. Thank you. So Lenny, make sure you register today so we can have a debrief next week, and we can talk about South Africa. Exactly. As a deal maker, you probably feel the connections, you can feel valuable. And, you know, for deal makers, it's not a question like, the question is not how do I make a difference? Question is, who do I want to make a difference with? And we have amazing women all around the world who also are deal makers and traders profile. I think you will love connecting with them. So that would be really wonderful. Okay. Yes, exactly. So feel free. I want to tell everyone, feel free to share this workshop, right, with other women, with your friends in Genius U community, or in the Friends with Your Life, and you can come with them on Saturday. This is not just feeling you have to come on your own. If you have someone you already work and collaborate with and they would love to come with you, it's even better, because you can directly then work on your partnership or collaboration or team and connect to other women all over the world who can support you as well. So thank you.
That's really great to mention that there, because obviously that's a kind of a special deal for GU community members, but it's friends of as well, isn't it? You know, I mean, if you've got somebody who's never heard of GU, never been around us, bring them along. You know, they can take advantage of the offer and be there, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. So Lenny says, if you can just drop down the link to the workshop, because I think she disconnected, so she can't do the previous one.
There you go. And I also will email you very shortly with it, Lenny, in case you have any issues with your phone or what.
So Lenny, that's your link. You can go and register, and then I'll reach out to you and we'll schedule one-to-one.
Absolutely. Okay. Just also, I'm absolutely going to give you those other links, Lenny. So I'm giving you here, whoops, get my screen in the right place. So we have the link for the, are we allowed to call it GIFEW? Is that how you like to pronounce it? Yeah. So we've got the GIFEW community on Facebook. We've also got Bear's community on Genius U, the GIFEW community there, and also giving you the link to Bear's profile so you can connect directly.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful.
Wow. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks, especially thanks to you, of course, Bear.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to everyone who is watching this recording. And I want to say thank you, all women who are watching this, for being Evolutionary Women, being committed to your path, and look forward to connecting with you soon.